Can I admit something to you? I am not a fan of doing unboxing videos. It is one of my least favorite things about content creation. But I'm also going to admit to you, I have been so fired up to do the unboxing video for the STARLINK Mini, because at this place, this is where it's going to do a whole lot of heavy lifting for me, and especially at my away games. I am excited to get the STARLINK Mini out and set up and ready to roll, because it's going to improve my data handling, my connectivity to the internet like nothing I've ever done before. That's a high expectation, is it not? Well, let's see if it lives up to it. Now, normally what would be right here is actually right over there on the dugout, because the wind blew this and blew it out. It's the little white piece of paper with the two circles on it. I don't know what it's for, but I don't really care, because the STARLINK Mini is in this box. Okay. You've seen the unboxing videos. I'm not doing anything that hasn't already been done before, but you've got some incredible pictures that help you understand, okay, well, that's kind of what they're talking about. Let's try to get this in a spot where the wind doesn't blow it away and I can reuse it. Yeah, good luck, right? It's one of those days where the West Texas dust has been blown into the East Texas pollen, and there's such a haze in the air. I can't, and the camera is nodding at me. What are you doing over there? Okay, STARLINK Mini for mobile live streaming. Folks, everything that I have watched and read has said this is the game changer, because we're not going to be relying on a cellular tower that may or may not be overcrowded. Yes, it's possible for the STARLINK to be crowded, and in major metropolitan areas, sometimes they'll warn you, if you're on a mini roam plan, your data may not be as fast as the residential folks. Okay, I can live with that. I'm not in a major metropolitan area by a long stretch of the imagination. We're a very rural area, and so I'm going to get just about everything that it's going to offer to me. And the STARLINK Mini comes as this little device. Fits in a backpack. It's about the same size as a YOLOBOX Ultra, maybe just a little bit wider on one direction. It's about the same size as an iPad, maybe just a little bit thicker. So I know it fits in a backpack, and I've got some great tools here to get me started. So once I get this plugged in, powered up, I'll open up the app. We'll look at what it takes to go through it, and then we're going to test some data speeds to see what the STARLINK Mini is going to give me in rural East Texas as far as upload speeds go. Now, included in the box is going to be one handy dandy power cable. It's long. I don't know how long. Let's see if it says on this. It does not, but it'll stretch for quite some ways. I don't even want to unroll it. I just want to use it where it is. I do have an AC adapter for the power cable here. I have ordered a USB-C to barrel plug like what this needs cable. It will be here soon, and I'll be able to plug it directly into USB-C, because you can power the STARLINK Mini with USB-C power, provided that the port you're using will give you 45 or 50 watts to start with. It's going to settle in down to in the 20s, low 20s of what it's going to. Why are you nodding at me again? It's going to settle into the low 20s as to what it requires as far as just running for long term. And so depending on the size battery that you buy, you're going to be able to get long-term use out of the STARLINK Mini from a mobile setting. I'll talk to you about the battery that I've chosen in just a second. But for now, let's go ahead and get this out of the box. We've got the kickstand here that's going to allow me a little bit of adjustment. And we've got the pole mount, which for baseball settings is going to be incredibly valuable to me. I have already found the 3D printed adapter that I'll be using to put this on the top of a tripod to get it up above head high, so I don't have the interference that I might have if I leave it sitting out here on the dugout or on the stands. I don't want folks walking over and looking at it and blocking my view of the satellites, so that I am interrupted in my connection. Let's get this back on the ground and out of the way. I'm not using the pole mount today, so let me put that back in the box and this back in the box, and I think the camera was nodding at me because the lid was flapping. Maybe, I don't know. All right, but for now, I am going to mount it or set it. Let's see, north should be somewhere in that direction. Or maybe that, I don't know. It'll tell me in just a little bit which way to rotate it. I'm going to plug in to the back of the STARLINK Mini. It's got a nice little area to run your cables under. These come with a dual flange for IP67 weatherproof. And so it's going to plug in there and keep any kind of moisture out. Next to the power port, we're going to have the Ethernet port. Let me see if I can get the plug that they keep in there pulled out. It is not easy to get that plug out because it too has been designed to be waterproof. So there's the Ethernet port that will be running an Ethernet cable to my Slate travel router at some point, but not today because this is just the first initial setup video. And then I'm breaking out my EcoFlow River 3. This is another new purchase that goes along with the STARLINK Mini because I wanted to have a device that would run this for all-day use. And when I plug this into the AC port, I know that's not as efficient as it is to the USB-C port, to the DC port, but it's what I've got for right now. When I plug it into the AC port, it starts up and settles in to that 20-something watt usage. It tells me it will last 9 hours. That's all day as far as I'm concerned. If I'm streaming baseball for more than 9 hours, all of a sudden I've turned into a tournament dad, and that's not what I signed up for. Let me just go ahead and tell you, those of you that do it, I applaud you. You're doing a great job. Thanks for loving on your kids. However, I'm a little older. I'm not in that stage of life anymore. So anyway, this will run all day for what I consider to be all day. I'm going to plug this in and turn it on. I'm going to turn it on and plug it in. Power and AC power. There we go. Turned on, plugged in, and now the STARLINK will start its startup process. Okay. That is an odd thing you're doing over there, and I'm not sure why you're nodding at me because there's nothing flapping and trying to get in your way right now. So let's see. What I have is faced away from you, but there it is. Okay. When we go through the process on our STARLINK app, we're going to be told what to do. So STARLINK's going to ask us to take a view of the sky. We're going to scan the entire sky, point our camera up. All the little dots begin to come into the circle. We'll go around everywhere. Want to make sure we're not underneath an overhang or underneath a tree so that we have a clear view of the sky and we can get the best reception possible. We can then click View Results, and it will show us what it thinks of our scan. When we see the dome that it produces, the red parts are going to be blockages and the blue parts are going to be clear sky. We want more blue than red by all means. So as mine comes up, I've got a good video streaming, good web browsing, good video call experience with maybe some interruptions for online gaming. And that tells me I want to find a central location because the built-in Wi-Fi. Eventually I will not be using the built-in Wi-Fi. I'll be using my Slate travel routers with this. But for now, we'll set up the Wi-Fi so that it can go ahead and walk us through the process. It is called STARLINK. We'll connect our phone to that Wi-Fi network that it's producing, STARLINK, and then it's going to tell us, hey, go ahead and change the name and set a password because you don't want just anybody hopping on your internet whenever you're set up at a ballpark. So I'm going to name my network. Let's see, we'll call this network Mobile Streaming. We'll set up a password. We'll go ahead and let it save the password in my phone. We'll apply the settings, and now we've changed the network name and password for the STARLINK Mini. We'll give it time to go ahead and reload that. And so now it wants to join in the mobile streaming network. We're going to tell it we do want to join. It's going to connect, and bada bing, bada boom, we are on our newly named mobile streaming STARLINK Mini network. Okay. So it's got some updates to run, and we're going to allow those updates to run. It's going to optimize the connection based on which satellites are overhead. That'll take a few minutes, but once it's done that, it should be faster every time we start up again. And now it gives us the instructions to turn the STARLINK to match. So what I need to do is rotate until it fully aligns in the white box, and I'll know that I have optimal direction for my STARLINK Mini. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's run a speed test. We're going to create upload data. And our latency looks fantastic. 24 milliseconds of latency. We are running 53 megabits per second download, and we're looking at 12, 13, 11, 12 megabits per second upload. I can live with that. 11 to 12 megabits per second upload speed is going to give me everything I need for any 1080 stream that I want to do. As a matter of fact, if I can enable HEVC, I can get a 4K stream through 12 megabits per second upload speed. Fantastic. I'm fired up to see that this offers me that kind of upload speed. And I'll go ahead and tell you, this is not the first time I've run that upload speed. I've set this up previously and run it several times, and I'm getting a very consistent 12 megabits per second upload speed. The STARLINK Mini may change everything about the way I get to live stream, because I don't have to worry about rolling up to a venue and wonder, am I going to have T-Mobile service? Am I going to have Verizon service? And even though I could take either one of those or both of them and bond them through Speedify, it was always iffy. I have run through this year already. One of the places that I went to stream, it just struggled. That was on my near stream only live stream setup. You heard me talk about how difficult it was, because that area of East Texas is just very difficult for cell reception. I'm hoping with 12 megabits per second upload, if that is as consistent as it seems to be, I'll be able to even do away with my Speedify subscription and only run STARLINK wherever I go. Now, this is a STARLINK Mini 50 gigabyte roam plan, and that is going to give me, let's do the math right quick. At a 1080 stream, HEVC active, 3 megabits per second, I should be running 2 gigs per hour. 3-hour game, that's 6 gigs per game. That sounds a little high, but let's say it is 6 gigs per game. Then I'm going to be able to run 8 games on a 50 gigabyte plan per month. A high school team is going to play, except for during tournament season, 8 games per month. Granted, during tournament season, they have an hour-and-a-half time limit, so it cuts it down way much there, and I can probably get by. I can add 1 gigabyte per dollar onto this plan just by letting it roll over. So the 50 gig plan may work for me. That's $50 a month. That is what I've been paying for with for my cell hotspot. I was paying for more gigabytes for that amount, but still, if I can do that and be able to run just STARLINK and not have Speedify, then I will be that much better off. So STARLINK Mini for baseball live streaming. I have high hopes. We'll be reporting back as we do some games, and we'll see what kind of service we get out of this, but it looks like it's going to be the answer for mobile live streaming without interruption.